Welcome to the Naked Relationship Podcast. I'm Adam,
And I'm Kelley.
the beautiful, feisty, hangry Latina. And boy, do we have an episode for you today. We are going to talk about,
Part 2 of our wild weekend.
yes, the failed foursome.
All right, guys. But first, let's talk about our sponsor, Alt Playground.
Yes. So Alt Playground, they've got a lot of new features that, we still want to kind of make sure that you guys are aware of. And so we've got communities where, podcasters such as us and maybe clubs and event hosts can use those to kind of keep in touch with everyone all at once without having to send their friend requests and group messages and all these things. And it's really a great way to keep up with what we're doing as well. And you can find our link to our community in the description down below the episode.
Also, another thing is conferences on there. You can check out the latest conferences going on in the lifestyle and hopefully pop in and visit a couple.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be great. That's what they're there for. You want to live, learn, and grow. So, and then forums. Forums are back. They're a place to kind of share your lifestyle insight or learn from others that have kind of lived different experiences than you. You can also start your own forum with topics and connect with others from across the United States.
USA.
Australia. What?
All right, guys. But let's get into this week's episode.
Yeah.
Wild Weekend Part 2.
Duh. On Sunday morning.
No. Let's recap Saturday night.
Okay, so Saturday night, you went out and got schmammered.
With my friends.
With your girlfriends.
Hell yeah. Like that.
And then I had a bisexual threesome with a couple.
Yeah. So Adam goes and picks me up from my friend's house because I was fucking wasted, and he actually dropped me off, so I didn't have any way of going back home. But he picked me up like the sweet husband he is and drove me around for like a fucking hour and a half.
Trying to find fucking food.
He was starving, was trying to find food, and I was like, oh, did you have fun at your little three-way play date? And he was like, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I was like, did you take videos like I asked you to? He said he only got one video. I was like, okay, that's fine. I wanted more, but one's fine. But then he told me that the other couple took some and they're gonna send it to him. So I was super pumped for that. He did start showing me a little bit of that video, but like I said, I was fucking wasted and did not recall much of it. And at that point in the night, I was so drunk. Okay, so drunk, and I barely remembered everything of what went on. And the last thing I remember is Adam driving around trying to find food. So we get home. He lets me walk up the fucking stairs bare ass, not naked, but like barefoot. And we get to the apartment. We get in bed. I think we might have fucked talking about what he did in the three-way.
No, there was no coitus that night. You were too far inebriated.
I couldn't remember, but I think he did show me a little clips of this video. And like the best part of the video was him stopping mid-fuck to adjust his wedding ring. I fucking loved it.
I didn't want it to fall off. And it's not like it's loose, but after so much like skin grab or whatever, like it'll, kind of work its way towards the nail. But yeah.
Okay. So wake up Sunday morning.
So you had already had plans with this particular friend, this female friend, which a little bit of background context here. This is a friend that I've found attractive for a while now, but you also had a dream that I cheated on you with her. So I was never going to push that boundary by any means.
Yeah, this friend also lives here in the apartment complex with us.
And I kind of was a little like, are you sure you want to hang out with her? Just because
Yeah, because like it is known that she likes me. And Adam is trying to push that real hard.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think it's funny because you don't believe that you're attractive. You don't believe that you're beautiful. And I think that, by showing you or telling you that someone is attracted to you, I'm hoping.
But it's almost to the point where it was annoying. Okay. You would push that so hard, make it everyone uncomfortable. And you just like, he doesn't get social cues. Like you need to fucking stop.
Regardless.
Okay.
Saturday, you were telling me that you had plans for just you and her to drink mimosas or whatever. So then Sunday morning rolls around and this particular friend, we'll call her Kay, she starts texting you saying, hey, let's whatever. And she's like, I'm going to go get the orange juice for the mimosas and the champagne.
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes and gets them, and you're like, Adam, do you want to go with us? And I'm like, okay, I wasn't planning on it, but absolutely, sure.
Yeah, so we're going to go drink mimosas at the pool at 10 a.m.
Mhm.
So she gets here, we're chatting, we make the mimosas. They're fucking delicious. Our pool does not allow for glass, so we had to mix the mimosas in the orange juice jug, and we were just pouring ourselves cups from there, and it was fucking delicious. So we all head over to the pool. I bring my little beatbox, my little boombox that Adam made fun of, and to play music. It's a wireless Bluetooth speaker, and he was
It just
really
doesn't
pissed at me
sound
that
like
much.
all the speakers or whatever are firing correctly. Like, it sounds like there's a lot of layers missing in the music that shouldn't be.
It's fine for the pool. Anyways, we get to the pool, we're listening to music, we're chatting, we're all getting a little bit tipsy because that's all we've had is mimosas at 10 a.m. with no food.
Yeah.
So we get tipsy, we start talking to our friend because apparently last weekend, or no, maybe like a couple weeks ago, her boyfriend broke up with her on her fucking birthday, okay?
Yeah.
And this is Sunday, the day of her boyfriend's birthday this
Which,
week.
keep in mind that this Sunday was her boyfriend's birthday. The day before, she gave him an Apple Watch, another expensive tech gift.
Took him to an expensive ass fucking dinner where we went
for
for
our
our
wedding dinner.
yeah, for our wedding dinner where we paid like $300.
Just for the two of us.
Yeah.
Just the two of us.
And she took him to the same place and bought him fucking dinner, gave him a fucking Apple Watch and something else expensive. I was like, girl, no, he broke up with you on your birthday and you took him out. And apparently they're back together when she took him out. She took him out, got him a fancy ass dinner, all these expensive gifts. And like Sunday, he was supposed to go visit his family for his birthday, his actual date of birth, but didn't invite her. But she was still hoping that he would invite her to meet his family. And she was making herself available for that. Like, I know she had plans with us and everything, but like she was still hoping that he would invite her. And we were just trying to talk some sense into her and tell her, like, this guy, first of all, I saw a picture of him. He looked like a fucking dick. Like, no lie, looked like a legit penis. Okay. And I think he was turning 30 years old or maybe 29.
30.
30. He was turning fucking 30.
Well, we kind of were listening to her about that and kind of introduced us to some other people at the pool. And about, like noon 30, we had to get dressed and go to a covfefe date with...
We had a coffee date with a potential playmate. Okay, so Adam got this idea from Brian and Brenna from the Front Porch Swingers about how Adam should be there when I go on my initial coffee dates with my potential play partners to help ease any anxiety and worry that he may have. So we decided to try it out on this guy that I've been talking to for almost a year, and I pitched the idea to him and he was okay with it. I was a little bit worried because,
You know me.
like I told you before, people take Adam either A or B. Like, either they really like him or they think he's annoying and they fucking hate him. Okay, and sometimes when you meet lifestyle people, they don't know how to take you. So I was very concerned.
I mean, so let's clarify. This gentleman is polyamorous. He lives about 6 hours away, and he comes down every other weekend, I believe, to see his girlfriend.
Yes, and he actually used to live closer, but he got a new job 6 hours away, so that's where he lives now. But he's still really nice. I've been talking to him for a year. So he's in the medical field, and I feel like we have that in common. It's really nice to talk about medical stuff with other people because sometimes you don't understand medical stuff, and it's just nice.
I don't know shit.
So we tell our friend, like, hey, we have a coffee date. We'll be back at the pool. You should not say yes to your boyfriend if he invites you.
Like, we were even, us and like the new people that she introduced us to, were trying to get her to break up with him because it's kind of a vicious cycle. And she'll tell you that he breaks up with her just about weekly. And so we're trying to get her out of that cycle. And we left the pool, went and grabbed covfefe with this. Well, we attempted to grab covfefe, but the cafe didn't open for another hour and a half after we got there.
Yeah, so luckily when we did get there, we just sat near this like open area with a bunch of tables that was shaded, which was actually really nice. So we get there and I'm wearing like a nice pretty dress and my sun-kissed tan.
Babe, you were gorgeous.
Yeah, I also decided not to wear bra and panties in this dress, so I was looking hella cute.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam, I don't know what you wore. No one cares what you wear, but like it was fine.
Yeah, no one cares. I was wearing nothing. She doesn't remember. It's very memorable.
And then we meet this guy, and like initially this is the first time me meeting him. Like I've Snapchatted him, I've texted him, but this is the first time like I've ever met him in person. And he was, I know this is gonna sound really bad, but he was like a lot shorter, but still taller than me.
Yeah.
So I still think he's cute. I like short guys.
So that's why you have daddy issues.
Shut up. Shut up. Don't call my dad short.
He is short. He's barely taller than my dad.
Yeah. Anyway, so we get there, we meet him. He's very sweet and friendly and gentlemanly. We talk about mainly polyamory and how that's different than swinging. And it was very mind-opening for me because like sometimes I can't grasp the idea of being polyamorous sometimes. And this is coming from a guy's standpoint where he is the extra part of someone else's polyamory relationship. Like he is dating a wife, which he calls his girlfriend. Like this wife is married, obviously, to the husband. They don't have any kids. And it's just a very interesting dynamic. And it was a really great educational opportunity for the both of us learning what that dynamic is like. And honestly, I don't know if we could do that.
Yeah. I mean, because like later on throughout the day or maybe the week, we kind of had like a conversation about what that might look like and maybe how we'd like to tell each other like, hey, I think that, this person could be like a good fit for like a third. But I'm hung up on a few things. You're hung up on a few things. And given like the dynamic that we currently have in terms of like, you asked me, what if I had a boyfriend? Like I was like, I don't really want to, and you said like you got really sad or something like that. And so I completely understand because that's how I currently feel. And it's not for everyone, but, I think that maybe if we find our unicorn, regardless of gender, then maybe that could be a thing. But
maybe, I don't know. We would obviously have to talk about it more and discuss everything. Because even just you saying that right now was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was a little sad little twinge.
And it's not like I love you any less.
Yeah.
But like the fact of the matter is like, at the end of the day, I'm giving part of my heart potentially to someone else. And like, that's a bit crushing to me even to think about, because like to me, this might sound monogamous, but like my heart is yours, like completely, so that's just kind of how I feel about my heart. Like it's completely yours. My dick, it's completely yours. And I ask permission to let others rent it out, if you will. Well, that sounds bad. Borrow it for pleasure.
Yes.
Every now and then.
I like that better.
Yeah. So
it was a great conversation. This guy, I obviously found him attractive. He said he found me attractive.
She wants to ride his face.
Yeah. So we put our ways. We go get food. During this, I let him know like it was great meeting him. Thank you for letting my husband tag along. Like,
I know you had anxiety going into it because you thought I was going to be like a total, like, I don't know, dweeb.
No, I thought you were going to be a dick and an asshole like you always are. Okay.
That's true. But like, but even you said, wow, that went a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, it did. Like, it surprised me a lot. So props to Brian for that thought.
Well, like even this particular individual and I, like we joked around, like it wasn't going to be anything like, oh, so you want to fuck my wife, do you? Mm-hmm. Like we joked that it wasn't going to be anything like that, like in front of you. And I don't know, he seemed like I don't want to say good sport, but I liked him. The only thing that kind of like concerned me is just making sure that he knows this is strictly for play and not that we're not poly.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. So we get finished with that. We go get food because we're fucking starving. I'm always hungry, guys. Okay.
Same.
And we go get food. We get our friend some food because she hadn't eaten either. And we find out that she is not going to go with her boyfriend to meet his parents because apparently he did ask her fucking last minute. And I was like, no, girl, don't do it. He's being a fucking dick. Mm-hmm. Don't fucking do it. And she was like, nah, girl, I ain't gonna do it.
Well, like she called him out on some bullshit, told him to leave her alone. And then he broke up with her. It was like, I can't believe you're doing this to me on my birthday. When he did he did way worse on her birthday.
Exactly.
So, They broke up, and then we get back to the pool. Well, no, she comes up to eat the food with us at our apartment, and we play a game that we bought at Barnes & Noble, and it's kind of like Cards Against Humanity, but not. And it's a lot of fun. And then after a little while, it rained, and then after it stopped raining, we went to the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was a little more crowded than I'd like to see, but we hung out, and we got a little tipsy.
We got fucking wasted.
I got chocolate wasted, okay?
I think I knew when we were too wasted because I think we started kissing.
Who, me and you?
No, me and her. Do you not remember?
No.
We were kissing in the pool in public at the apartment where we live. Okay?
So,
that's how I knew. I was like, oops, I'm a little gone right now.
So we're hanging out with Kay. We're hanging out with these two other gentlemen, these two other neighbors that live by us. And one of them was really cool. The other one is, I'm still trying to figure out, you know, how I portray this individual.
No one with the chain that was black?
Huh?
The black guy?
Well, regardless, there was one that lived in the corner, and then the one that lives in our building.
Oh.
The one that lives in the corner I really liked. The one that lives in our building, I'm still trying to...
His name start with a P?
Yes. I'm trying to figure out like what I think of him, but I also don't really see him that much.
Yeah.
And so we hang out with them, and then this other guy from the group of friends that Kay introduced us to earlier in the day comes over. His name, we'll call him D. And
he is of Indian descent, guys.
And the D really stands for dick, and we'll get into that later.
So when we first saw this Indian guy, I totally thought he was gay. Apparently, he just recently saw his girlfriend cheating on him, and that's why he was drinking way too much and snorting lines of coke.
Yeah, but we didn't know about the lines of coke until way after this whole thing happened.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just hanging out, chilling, drinking, getting a little tipsy. I start making out with our fucking neighbor in the pool where everyone could see us.
And Kelley kind of, at some point, gave me the go-ahead to kind of say, hey, we're swingers, to this small group of like 4 or 5 other
Because, you know,
individuals.
Adam, he wants to fucking tell the whole world.
Well, no, it was like something...
No, you want to tell the whole world.
Something was like, I forget what it was in the conversation, but it was like leading towards that. Whether it had been like you two kissing or you flirting with another guy, it was leading to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like, oh, hey, my name's Adam, I'm a swinger. Like, it wasn't that. It literally was just conversation was leading there. And so the guy that lived in the corner had also experimented with the lifestyle in his previous marriage. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and he totally didn't judge us. The guy that lives in our building, I don't think he heard, but Carrie obviously already knew because we had been friends for a little bit, and I kind of knew a while ago, maybe like 8-9 months, well, even longer than that. Like, she's known for a long time. So this D guy, he didn't know, but now he does. And so the 4 of us, somehow it gets popped the question of let's have a foursome. And that's how I know you're really like, might not be all the way there consciously in terms of your drunkenness. Cohesively, maybe is a better word. I don't know. But I pull you aside while you're about to go with Kay to her apartment to check something or whatever.
Get her bag of weed.
Oh, okay. And I pull you aside and I say, are you sure you're cool with this? And you're like, yes. And so maybe like...
Keep in mind, I'm drunk. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would have said yes to anything.
Well, 20 minutes later, we're going to another apartment that's across from the corner guy.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to hang out because that's what you and the girls and D want to do. And so... we hang out for a little while. I stopped drinking at this point, and...
I don't know if you know, guys, but Adam is kind of awkward, okay?
Oh, I'm very awkward.
Like, me and my friend are, like, being super sociable and funny and, like, trying to hang out and, like, laugh. And Adam's over here in the corner just, like, watching us both.
Well,
like,
so here's the thing.
Giving us the death stare, like...
I got a bad vibe about this D guy kind of early on. Like, I kind of thought of him as, like, a total fuckboy. So... he wasn't really around, which I later learned because he was doing coke. Had I known, I would not have like let him come over. But I was just trying to get you girls like out of the situation because like this particular group, I kind of already knew was a group that I didn't want me or you to be associated with.
Mm-hmm.
Not the corner guy or the guy that lives in our building, but like the people that live in this apartment specifically.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I didn't see this D guy and I'm like, babe, let's go.
We were like, no, we want to stay.
Yeah. And so eventually I managed to get you both to leave. We leave. We get almost to our building. and this D guy comes running. And we make it to our stairs by the time he catches us. And so then I'm like, fuck. Because on one hand, potential threesome with Kelley and another woman, which is one of my fantasies, is about to happen potentially. And then I see this fucker. So
you can tell he was excited.
ugh. Anyway, so we make it up the stairs. We make it into our apartment. And the first thing Kelley does when she gets in the apartment is takes her bathing suit off. So she's completely naked, which I should have known was like a clue, like how far drunk you were.
Yeah.
But you kind of started to sober up throughout this whole experience.
No, I was still fucking shit-faced.
Well, compared to where you were. Because like
I guess.
our friend blacked out. I didn't know. So anyway, so D and K sit on the new couch that we got, and you take off your bathing suit. And I'm like, oh, does anyone else mind if I take mine off? I'd like to get naked too, just because like I'm at home. I'm typically always naked regardless. And Kay is like, oh, please do. So I take it off, and by the time I turn around, you're already sitting on D's lap. And you have your legs going across Kay's lap. And you got your arm around his neck and is like trying to, seduce him with your beautiful face or whatever, your perfect lips, whatever. And then y'all start making out or whatever. Kay and I walk over and, she starts blowing me. And then somehow we get the idea to go to the playroom. Great idea. So I know that there's no condoms in there. So I run and go get the condoms from our bedroom, which is weird that we house them in our bedroom because we never use condoms on each. Anyway, I run and get them. By the time I get to the playroom, I walk in and what do I see? But my hot wife. Oh, sorry, I got cold chills. Blowing this guy, which was really fucking hot to see. And when I walk in there, he says to me and Kay, hey, can y'all just give us a minute? And you say, just go in the closet. And for those...
Oh, I said go in... I said go in...
I think it was you. Because, so for those, it's not a small closet, but it's not a huge one. It's definitely big enough for like a 5-foot table to go lengthwise and a 4-foot,
It's enough for like 4 people to be in there.
Yeah. Comfortably fucking. And so Kay and I go in there and she's kind of like freaking out. She's saying, I don't want to have sex. I don't want to have sex. I'm like, you do not have to do this. There's nothing here that you have to do. I'm like kind of just reaffirming to her, and so I hear you moan and I'm like, oh, this is hot as fuck. I want to watch. So I crack the door open. Kay darts out, looks behind at me and says, I just want you to fuck me, and immediately pulls her pants down. And I start going down on her from behind because I love eating ass. Like that is one of my favorite fucking ways. Because I don't know, I guess I'm just good at it. I don't know. So I start putting the condom on because she eventually says, no, just fuck me. Mm-hmm. So I put the condom on, and in this process, this guy stops fucking you, looks at me and says, do you mind if I fuck her for a minute, bro? And I'm like, okay, this is weird, but I can't say anything because I'm so like caught off guard.
Yeah.
So then he fucks her for like 20 seconds and then lets me continue fucking, which is fucking weird. So I start pounding her from behind while he's fucking you from behind. And while he's fucking you from behind, he puts his hand on her back or whatever, on Kay's back. Uh-huh. And she's like, don't touch me, which I thought was funny because she's the one that wanted this guy in the first place.
Yes, she did think he was cute. I was like, okay.
From there, we kind of like transition or whatever. Like I ask her, hey, do you want to ride me? And she's like, yeah, I'll ride you. So in the process of transitioning, somehow he ends up fucking her and you start blowing me with a condom on, which you've never done that before. Yeah. So I'm like, fuck, let me take the condom off. And while you're blowing me and he's fucking her, she's on her back and he's like kind of standing on the floor off the bed, fucking her. I'm kind of getting this vibe that she's not okay. And kind of say, hey, can we just like stop for a minute? Like everybody just stop. And I'm like, Kay, are you sure that you're okay? You don't have to do this, whatever. And she's like, oh no, I'm fine. I should have known, but I'd been around her while she was drunk, but it was a happy drunk, not a sad drunk like she was.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to look for in her cues because typically she would always be all bubbly and all these other things when she's really drunk, like a happy drunk. Uh-huh. So I had no fucking clue what to look for. I'm not saying that makes it right or wrong, but I didn't know what to look for. And anyway, somehow after that, you and D go onto the couch. And me and her are just like laying next to each other, talking. She's kind of like, I just want chicken nuggets. Okay. And I'm talking to her. I'm saying, do you want to be here? She's like, I just want to make people happy. I'm like, okay, you're clearly not okay.
Mm-hmm.
She repeated herself that she just wanted to go get chicken nuggets. And by this point, I make the connection that she's just too far drunk.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, let me drive you. I'll go get them, whatever. Because I was sober.
You were sober this entire time?
Yes.
Wow. Guys, I was not sober.
Well,
like some of the things he's telling me, like I'm just now reliving. I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, she gets dressed and I'm like saying, hey, give me a second. Let me get dressed so I can either walk you to your apartment or go get the chicken nuggets for you. And by the time I can put clothes on, she's already like out the door. You're yelling at me, go after her, like make sure she's okay, like walk her home. And as she's walking out the door, you're riding D. And what did he do?
He was like, "Hey, come back." And then he looked at you like, bro, make sure she's got my number, okay?
And I look at him and it's like, that's not up to me. Because like, number one, my wife is riding you, and you're literally saying like she might not be good enough because like your attention is on someone else. Which like I get, but at the same time, like, you know, that's kind of, in that particular instance, I still feel like that's disrespectful because you're completely disregarding my wife who's riding you and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I can see how insulting that was to me. But at that point, like I said, I was fucking schmammered and I didn't care.
Well, it gets worse. So after I realize it's like I get dressed and I look down the hallway, I don't see her. She's completely gone. And I made awkward eye contact with this one other neighbor, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go back inside.
Wait, who did you make awkward eye contact?
I'd love to tell you, but I have no idea. So I make awkward eye contact, and then I go back into an apartment because I'm like, fuck this. And so then me, you, and D, we all go to the playroom and try to have like a threesome.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. And like, I guess when I went out there, you two came in here.
Oh, yeah.
And we're fucking or whatever. And so you get off of him and start blowing him. Like you bend over, start blowing him. And I start fucking you from behind. And he looks up at me and says, hands up. And was like, hold on. I just have one request. Can you not come on me? No homo. And like, I should have ended it right there. Like one, why would you just fucking assume that? And two, we hadn't even talked about me and you doing anything in terms of like cum placement or me blowing you or anything like that. As far as we both knew, this was just a straight thing. So like when we were talking about the whole foursome thing, no male anything was discussed. So why would you just assume that I would come on you or get cum anywhere near you? The only thing that you should have assumed was that I was either going to finish in my wife, finish in her mouth, or finish in my hand, right? Like you shouldn't assume those things regardless. Then to say no homo, that just shows that you're ignorant. After it all kind of finished, I mean, because that pretty much wrapped it up. Like you were like, I'm done. I'm going to go get food. So then after that finished up, I'm trying to have a conversation. I'm like, man, you can't really say no homo. Like that's very disrespectful and you shouldn't just assume things. And he...
Okay, but like you're also sober as fuck. He was not. I was not. Like I can see how...
Well, I didn't know that he was coked up.
Yeah.
But
you knew that he was drunk.
A little, but I didn't know like how much because I just met this fucker that day.
But
you know?
like,
I'm just saying, don't assume things. And when it comes to having sex, like don't just assume that you're going to get something this way or that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then additionally, I was trying to explain to him, you know, like why that's wrong and you shouldn't say that in those particular situations. And the gist of his whole justification for saying that was there's two parts. There's one, he didn't want to hide who he was. Okay. Secondly, well, so like he said, that's just who I am and I'm not going to hide who I am. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking stupid of an excuse. And so then the other part is he hid behind the excuse of when he was in high school, people would call him Sand N-word because he's Indian. And he hid behind those two excuses for justifying saying no homo. I don't know. I can't get over that regardless. So essentially, to wrap this whole thing up, we had a foursome with our neighbor, which broke our rules. And also in this foursome, nobody finished.
It was great. Great times.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic. It fucking sucked.
It really did. Like, it was so bad, I couldn't even masturbate to it. Like, do that. Like, you went down on Kay,
Mhm.
which normally would have been fucking hot.
Mhm.
But like, I couldn't, you know, like it's just not there for me. Anyway, so yeah, there's our terrible foursome where nobody finished. We both felt disrespected and we broke a rule that is now no longer a rule because in our rules episode, we talked about no neighbors, no coworkers, none of that. And here we are, both of us fucking a neighbor. And so, yeah.
Fun fucking time.
And so that's going to do it for this week's episode, guys. Don't forget to follow us on social media at TNR Podcast. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, please don't forget to check out Alt Playground. Link will be in the description. They are an amazing place to communicate with sexy, open-minded, lifestyle-friendly, sex-positive people. That's altplayground.net. That link is also in the description. If you join Alt Playground, please hit up our community. That link is also in the description. And so with that, we're going to bid you farewell. And babe, you got anything else to say?
Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.